slept. Finally fell asleep once. And dude comes by and is like, put your mask on.
Okay. Gonna do my morning rant. I'm on a delivery. I was thinking about what to say. The thing that keeps pounding at me is how long can this go on? How long can those people in the Congress and in the office of the President of the United States of America keep administrating this country in such a poor manner when all you're doing is spending money, and you're spending money on things that are not going to help the average individual? Something has to break. Eventually something has to break. And what do? Yesterday I said rely on Jesus Christ. Don't waste your time. Don't be proud. You know, even if everything was beautiful and pretty, at the end of your life you're going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell. Either one. And I'm trying to be as sincere as possible. This is serious.
Make a left turn on Gateway Boulevard East.
I'm not at a place where I wanted to be in my life. Not one day in my life has been a day that I have wanted. I'm wondering how I've made it so long. And of course that all takes into account what the actual definition of making it. But people are out there and trying to figure out
half mile, keep left onto Interstate 10 East.
what is it exactly they're supposed to do in this point in time in human history. COVID is deadly, but it's not. The death rate is less than 1%. The death
In a
rate
quarter mile, keep left onto Interstate 10 East using the upcoming left lane.
is less than 1%. And the government has conditioned people to hysteria. What was that called in psychology? I was just thinking about it. Learned helplessness, conditioned fear.
Using the left lane, keep left onto Interstate 10 East.
It's not that there's something that you should be afraid of. Is that the government, with its rhetoric and the media, now have made people who have a knee-jerk reaction.
Quarter mile, take right exit 27 toward Hunter Drive using the upcoming right lane.
And think that there is something to fear when there isn't. We should be conducting business as usual. We shouldn't have to wear masks.
Using the right lane, take right exit 27 toward Hunter Drive.
I'm old. I've lost all my teeth. I can't afford dentures, so I'm enjoying wearing masks. And it does have the people who say that it doesn't help, yeah, it helps. Even if it helps 30%, that's help. That's that 30% that might keep you from getting sick.
In a half mile, keep right toward Hunter.
They just drive out of there, and it looked like he was going to do it. So yeah, masks do work. We'd be better off with hospital masks, but you know, you'd have to sell your home to be able to buy one hospital mask.
In a quarter mile, keep right toward Hunter using the upcoming right lane.
And all of this poor administration here in El Paso County, also the city, state of Texas, the country, everybody has managed.
Using the right lane, keep right toward Hunter.
Their responsibilities wrong. And it's deliberate. It isn't. I gotta go back to that. I was at the last time I tried to get a job, it was a mistake. It was just a horrible situation, lasted one day. But there was a person with a master's in nursing, in nursing and specializing in infectious diseases. And this person was telling, at the new employee orientation, this person was telling the new nurses that were there, and I feel sorry for them if they lasted in that environment, but they were scraping for jobs like anybody else. I mean, nurses, you know, you're wanted and needed everywhere, but I guess they didn't want to be in certain environments. Anyway, this person is telling them the government line. And I was listening to him, and it's as if he was reading paperwork from the
In a
Centers
half mile,
for
make a
Disease
right
Control.
turn on Phoenix Avenue.
And I'm wondering why a person with a master's and a specialization in infectious diseases doesn't have enough professional discretion to consider the information the government is giving him and compare that to his education and experience. I have a
In a quarter
bachelor's.
mile, make a right turn on Phoenix Avenue.
My minor was science. I took 6-7 courses in biology, 5 or 6 in geology, 2 in astronomy. My major was psychology. I worked approximately 7 years in a hospital as a security guard, but you go to the meetings and they tell you everything because they don't want you getting sick, and then
Make a right turn on Phoenix Avenue.
running a lawsuit on them. And of course, you always have the crafty people who are just hustlers and nothing more than criminals. And so you got a lot of education. I got a lot of education. I don't
In
know
a quarter mile, drop off.
if other people paid attention to what they were being told at all those meetings. I kept saying we have meetings on top of meetings. And of course, like everybody else, you know, I watch the Discovery Channel, I watch National Geographic and the History Channel, and look for documentaries on YouTube. And you get an understanding. And as far as infectious, as far as right off the bat when they were saying it was contact, don't touch your eyes, don't touch your mouth, don't touch your nose. Right then, it was highly suspicious to me. You know, if you're talking about the eyes and the mouth and the nose, well, you want to recommend masks. You want to recommend shields. You know, I just heard 2 dummies on the Pat Gray show, on the Blaze. You know, and people like this are just not helpful. Not helpful. Shield will help you because instead of the virus falling on you, it falls on the shield. So let me see here. I gotta do something to get into this place to make the delivery. Okay, so it worked. So now I gotta look for, so it should be right here. So I'll be out of there. I hate looking for apartments. I wish people in apartments didn't order food. They got 40 different buildings and they don't know how the numbering system works. Yes, I'm right here. So I'll turn here. So I'll be out of the vehicle. Oops. No, maybe I shouldn't point the vehicle in that direction. It's facing somebody's window. Let's see here. I'll go over here. So facing out. And then I'll finish my rant. It shouldn't take me that long to find the apartment. Alright, now I'm back. Let's see, what am I pointing at? Oh, that's the community college, the main office, the main location, Valle Verde campus in El Paso, Texas. So, what is a person supposed to do? I mean, you're living this insanity. You're trying to do everything possible to manage your life, and you have these politicians, and is it just to win a political argument, just to keep and stay in power? What does it do for them? What does that power do for them? I mean, they have a brain. They have to be fully aware of what can happen with all this spending. If I spent that money, the reason I'm having to do what I'm having to do in my life, even though I don't want to, is because when I was trying to run a one-car taxi company, had a lot of maintenance costs, ran me into debt. There isn't much. I mean, even with a bachelor's in psychology, I'll say it again, in El Paso, Texas, if you're other than Mexican, you're not going to fare that well. And not to mention, it's a mad dash for work now. So, talking about the traffic. Nobody can be first. They got to rush up and be the first one. So, so I'm having to work, and I'll do it. Sure, I can complain. I can cry about it. Why the heck not? Because I'm working. Don't have a lot of respect for people who could have worked, but decided to milk the unemployment. I know a lot of people who the taxi business is a cash business. I know a lot of people who made unemployment claims but stood in the taxi, made that cash, got the cash and the unemployment, which annoyed the heck out of me. Stopped talking to them quick. To me, it was a point of honor. But when you're trying to live your life with honor, and you're trying to work and, you know, provide yourself with a home and everything else that comes with it in life, and every step of the way, you're getting screwed. And I don't know what you see. I see the institutions, the bureaucracies lining up against free people. El Paso, Texas, man, geez, it's a place of stupid people. It's a place where people believe that the American government stole land from Mexico. It's a place where people believe the government has to. They don't work. It's poverty stricken, poor mentality. You know, cheap. It's hard to have a business in El Paso because the people want to spend 99 cents. And you're buying your inventory for more than 99 cents. You can't, you just can't stay in business where the majority of the people that have such a cheap mentality that they won't buy from you if you're selling something for $19.99. So, and that's when you go to a restaurant, fast food, doesn't matter, cheap stuff. Shouldn't even put it in your mouth. It's bad for you. It's probably taking 15 years off your life. Just cheap ingredients, because that's what McDonald's, that's what Burger King, that's what Whataburger has to do. In order to make money, in order to sell it as cheap as possible, so the cheap customers will come in and buy it, they gotta buy cheap ingredients, and then they cut back. Let's see, where am I gonna go here? I'm going to go...
Head north on 100 Drive toward Cuba Drive. In 1,000 feet, continue straight onto 100 Drive, Viscount Boulevard.
What? That makes no sense. Let me look at the map. I'm sorry, I'm doing two things. Okay, so, and today is just what I said yesterday, I guess holds. You gotta realize that life's not forever. It has an end. Where are you gonna be on that end? And then while you're here on planet Earth right now, experiencing what is going on in the United States of America, how do you manage your life? How do you get employment? How do you
Continue straight onto 100 Drive, Viscount Boulevard, then use the left lane to turn left onto Gateway Boulevard West.
If you're a young person about to graduate high school and you're starting to make the first initial plans of your future, what is it exactly that you can count on as far as resources are concerned? The majority of people in El Paso, Texas, the mom and dad did not scroll away money for college for the kid. So it's going to be a federal grant, or the kid's going to have to work, or work and a federal grant. But even if you go to a university, what are you going to get out of the university experience? I mean, when I listen to the conservative talk shows, and they're talking about this draconian, totalitarian attitude in the Congress and the presidency, well, that only works if it works, and it's not going to work. For me, for what I can see, is that the end result is collapse, implosion. The United States of America fails, and you don't have electricity, running water, no natural gas, can't drive down to the Walmart. If you know how to live off the land, you're going to be okay. If you don't know how to live off the land, you're not going to be okay, which means I am not going to be okay. I mean, they're not going to manage to accomplish a communist regime here in the United States of America. No way. What's going to come out of all these spending and all these foolish policies, I suspect things are going to start falling. Businesses are going to start closing.
Use the left lane to turn left onto Gateway Boulevard West, then use the left lane to take the ramp
Stores,
to I-10.
banks, several school districts here in this area have had to close schools.
Use the left lane to take the
down
ramp to I-10.
Because the money's not there. So they had to consolidate.
Continue on I-10 for 1 mile.
Close schools and move children to other schools. So that's what I see. I'm seeing the collapse. I don't see how all that poor administration, all that spending, all those infrastructure bills, COVID spending, when I had my taxi and people would ask me, do we have to pay this money back? Like, it's debt. Debt has to be paid back. The United States government has to pay its debt. So yeah, but if there isn't, I mean, the idea that you're just going to tax the rich.
In a 1/4 mile, take exit 25 toward Airport Airway Boulevard.
Well, the rich put them in office. They can say it makes the poor feel good, but it's not going to happen because the rich are the people who put them in office. And if they can put them in office, they can put their competitor in office.
Take exit 25, then merge onto Gateway Boulevard West.
So, as far as taxing the rich and getting tax revenue, no. I do pay attention, and since Obama, the government, the federal government, has been collecting a lot more taxes than they've ever collected in United States history. The debt's not getting paid down, and these clowns keep adding to the debt. A reasonable person would say, no, we got to stop spending. We got to let Europe handle their own business. This is what Trump was doing. Trump was saying, You know, you guys have to handle your own business. You have to pay your own security. You have to pay your own bills. It's not our job to pay your stuff. And it's not. As far as I know, Italy, Germany, Spain, the rest of them are all free societies. Based on the
In a
same
quarter mile, use the right lane to stay on Gateway Boulevard West.
based on the same structure as the United States of America, where people take the risk, make a business, employ individuals, and with that money, people are able to, one, you have stores, and two, you have employees who can purchase at the stores, purchase the groceries, purchase their clothing, and then of course you have medical services. So they're built on the same structure that the United States of America is built on. Why are American taxpayers having to give their money to France, Germany, Italy, Spain, any of them? We're 25 nations of the European Union. You know, even Saudi Arabia. You know, why do we need to be in business with Saudi Arabia? Everything Biden did,
Use
I
the
mean,
right lane to stay on Gateway Boulevard West, then turn right onto Buffalo Soldier Road.
with Trump, there was oil independence. People needed to buy American oil, American natural gas. With Biden,
Take the next right onto Buffalo Soldier Road.
it's back to Iraq, Saudi Arabia, what's that other little crazy country, little midget island? I'll remember it, doesn't matter.
In half a mile, continue straight to stay on Buffalo Soldier Road.
These are not nice people. You know, Europe, it sucks that you have to rely on Russia for oil. It's your problem. You deal with it. You figure it out. It's not an American problem. It's not an American issue. It's not an issue that Americans should be giving their money to. Same thing for Cuba. The Cubans have allowed themselves to be victims, to be prisoners of tyranny, of totalitarianism, of the Castro brothers. They never fought back. They're not willing to die to fight back. That's their problem. That's their issue. It's not mine. It's not yours. Men and women in the American military shouldn't die in Cuba. American dollars shouldn't go to Cuba. Now, if you want to provide humanitarian assistance,
Continue straight to stay on Buffalo Soldier Road, then turn right
then
onto
by all
Montana
means, I have no
Avenue.
problem with that. If you want to make donations to freedom organizations, I have no problem with that. But to make public
Take the
policy
second right onto Montana Avenue, then turn
that
right.
the military is going to go to Cuba and the government's going to send a whole bunch of money, no. I can tell you why we're not involved there. I can tell you why. Russia, China is the reason the United States of America is not involved in
Take the next right, then turn left.
fear of Russia, fear of China. It's the American business person who is telling those politicians, you will not interfere with the money that I'm making by my business interactions with Russia and China. Business runs the world. It's time to wake up. It's time to grow up.